name's Terry W. I'm 43. I lived in Sacramento on and off approximately over 25 years. I'm a commercial driver. I've been driving over 15 years. And I live next to a train trestle on the south side of the Sacramento River. Due to the fact that I've lost my home, lost my job. Company I worked for went out of business. The owner sold the company, and it's just been a downward spiral for the last probably 6 years. It's just been a nightmare. I never ever thought that I would be in this position of being homeless, living on the street. I'm homeless, but I'm not homeless. I have a home. I'm living in a tent. It was provided by a church, and I struggle every day to find full-time employment. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke, and it's just been horrific. Lately, over the last year, I've seen more and more people that have lost their jobs, people with master's degrees, people that have made 6-7 figures and got severance checks, pink slips, and they're gone after 10, 15, 20 years of service for the company, and they get bounced out. A lot of suicides. People just don't know what to do. And I'm fortunate where I have survival skills that I can make it. And I'm married, have a wonderful wife that's stood by me. I've seen a lot of couples crumble, in this economy and in this situation that they're thrust into homelessness, and they're like me. They're not into the drugs or running the streets or partying and going to the bars and hanging out like that. They work hard every day. I know them. They're professional, individuals, different, people, different status, levels, education levels, but basically all professionals, and then when they hit that wall and just, when you hit it, you just come dead, you stop dead in your tracks, and there's nowhere to go, there's nowhere to turn, you have no avenues from, help from the county, the city, the state, because of the economy. You look at, Bush, and then you look at like what Cheney's done, and then you look at like McCain and Palin that want to come in that, Reagan and Bush Sr. did. That's why we're in this position. Clinton, he did a lot for this. It's just been a downward spiral. The rich keep helping the rich, and the poor and the middle class continue to dwindle and fall into oblivion. And, Mayor Fargo is a prime example. She talked about, I went to the forum she had at the VOA a week ago, and with Kevin Johnson, and I had my hand raised for about 10 minutes, and they finally came to me, and I said, there are so many opportunities available for homeless people to get into shelter. That's all we need is shelter, in a place of residence where I can get up, shave, shower, have a place to do my laundry, and go to work, and pay as a minimal amount of money. I'm not asking free rent and board. I just need a place where I can pay a minimal amount of rent where we can save to get into a home, where I can continue to look for a better paying job.
Barracks,
the barracks over off of Florence Perkins, and then they have the ones over at McClellan that they turned into housing, in which when they first demilitarized McClellan, my wife and I said, we can go over there, and I know we can get into one of those, the housing, one of the houses from, the barracks that were there. We went up there, and it was just a nightmare. But then there's the housing over off Florence Perkins from the military that's just sitting there, just vacant. Hundreds and hundreds of dorms, bunk beds, and nothing available. They won't turn it over to the city. Fargo could have done it. They've talked about it before. She won't do it. She won't speak with the government, the military, on acquiring, these properties and helping. They have warehouses. I've seen it. Personally, I've seen it. Of warehouses of just blankets, mattresses, pillows, toiletries, and it's just sitting, going to waste. And it can be utilized in so many ways.
You asked both Fargo and Johnson about trying to use these demilitarized bases to house the homeless, and what kind of reaction did you get?
I was passed over. They said, next question, please. I said, well, wait a minute. I didn't get a response to my answer, or to my question. I never got an answer. You know, I said, don't blow me off. You know, I said, I have a valid question to a valid, you know, situation here, that if you're addressing the homeless, that should be an issue that should take priority. You know, here's a situation that would rectify a real big problem. You want people off the streets on K Street. You want to revitalize the K Street Mall. You know, you're talking about new businesses. You know, bring in new businesses and you know, and things of that nature. But where do you want to put these homeless people? You want them away from the Greyhound station, which they're going to close down. They're going to open up the new Greyhound station down on Richards Boulevard next to the police station that's there. That's where most of the homeless, I'd say 95% of the homeless, have congregated to. You know, there's tents everywhere down there. There's hundreds. And around the Mission on Bannon Street. Well, when they start, they've already surveyed the land next to the police department, and they're going to break ground very soon. And when that Greyhound station goes in, where are the homeless going to go then? Nowhere. They're going to end up wherever. It's going to be a continuous downward spiral of more and more homeless people being arrested, thrown in jail, you know, property being taken. As far as the crimes, there's been numerous people found dead down here by the river, down by the Mission, over by Campbell Foods, Campbell Soup, off of 47th, where that Vietnamese officer was shot and killed. And it's a nightmare. It's a day-to-day, how can I put it? It's a really large adversity that you have to kind of overcome, of that fear of, when I go to work, is my wife going to be okay? You know, what do I need to do to better protect her?